Hi guys, so here we go again. Rees-Mogg, the new Brexit Opportunities Minister, who in a video I covered recently doesn't actually have any responsibilities, claimed in a report by the BBC that evidence of damage to UK trade has been, and I quote, few and far between. Mogg resorted to the pandemic, which is a little bit ironic as his government has been trumpeting the idea that Boris Johnson has defeated the virus. So that begs the question, if the pandemic has been defeated, which I don't think is the case, how can you blame it for the problems importers and exporters are facing? Mogg told the BBC that Brexit was already a success and boosting the economy. However, the Office for Budget Responsibility has stated that there was a Brexit hit to trade with the European Union. Since the end of the Brexit transition period, British businesses have been experiencing additional paperwork and border checks when exporting goods to EU countries. But it isn't just the OBR. Even a cross-party committee claims that these new arrangements for the EU border trade is adding additional costs to exporters. The Public Accounts Committee said trade has been suppressed since January 2021, and this is because of a combination of Brexit, the pandemic, and global economic problems. UK imports from the EU were 20% lower than before the pandemic. Now, Mogg has said that the pandemic has caused the most enormous disruptions to supply chains. We've had containers simply being stuck in the wrong place, being stuck in Chinese ports, being stuck in the port of Los Angeles. This has been a global trade issue, and we do have to recover from the problems of COVID. Now, he was asked whether Brexit had affected trade, and he replied in typical nonsensical Brexiteer manner, saying, I think Brexit has been extremely beneficial for the country. I think the evidence that Brexit has caused trade drops is few and far between. There has been an attempt to mix the pandemic and Brexit in order to allow the former to mask the consequences of the latter. It said at the time of the budget in October that both imports and exports with the European Union had been hit by Brexit and that both were on track to end up 15% lower as a result of the UK leaving the European Union. But the Office for Budget Responsibility said it was too early to know for sure. For example, some of the barriers to trade agreed with the European Union have not yet come into force. As I've said, things are expected to get worse with new checks and red tape over the coming months. Since Brexit, Britain has moved away from EU laws in certain areas, including immigration, payments to farmers and environmental standards. But Boris Johnson has come under a lot of pressure from his MPs to come up with some benefits of leaving the European Union. The fact that Rees-Mogg was appointed to find a Brexit dividend and he has to lie about how Brexit is going speaks volumes. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.